So caregiving for a grieving child is a hard job, and it can be made a lot harder if you're grieving too. So how do you take care of yourself in your own grief while also taking care of a grieving child? This is one of the biggest challenges of the moment. Okay? So I want to offer you just a few suggestions or tips for taking care of both of you. Because when you take care of one or the other of you, you actually take care of both of you. So one thing is just to acknowledge how totally challenging and difficult this experience is of being someone who is experiencing their own grief about someone who has died, and also taking care of a child who is experiencing grief about that person's death as well. There are many layers involved in that, and that's a really particular challenge. So acknowledging how difficult that is and making as much space and time for you to just sort of recognize that for yourself is a really, really important part of being able to process through your own grief. The second is just feeling your feelings. It sounds basic, but as we know, it's not. This can be really, really hard to just acknowledge what the feelings are, to let them come and go as they're going to know that sometimes they're going to be super intense, and sometimes they're going to be more moderate or more mild. Knowing that when they are mild or moderate, we can share them with a grieving child also, to just let them know, hey, I have these feelings too, and these are the emotions that I'm experiencing, and this is what I'm doing with them, and this is what I look like when I feel them. I'm crying, or sometimes I just kind of sleep a bit more, or I stare into space and I'm thinking about the person. Right, so these are ways in which you can sort of narrate your own experience, which teaches the child how to grieve also, and that it's normal to feel feelings. But doing that for yourself can be hard. And so just giving yourself, again, enough space and time to just feel the feelings that are there and to let yourself process them. And when they feel really intense or overwhelming for you, to see as much as possible if you can give yourself some space to be alone, to either move or to be quiet or to rest or to listen to music or to do whatever works for you when you're having big feelings, but knowing that when they're really overwhelming for you, they might be overwhelming for the child as well. So seeing if you have other adults in your life who can step in. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. But when possible, to reach out and ask for help so that you can work with your own overwhelm without sharing it with your child. Just telling yourself that you're doing the best you can. Sometimes the words that we speak to ourselves go unnoticed. And so just being really aware of what kind of conversation we're having in our own heads about ourselves and how we're doing. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling feelings. In fact, it just makes you human. And experiencing a loss happens for people in all sorts of ways. And so what can you tell yourself that can maybe be comforting as you go through this process? Like, I'm just doing the best I can right now. Right? Or this is good enough for now. Right? Or I'm going to try and intend it to be this way from now on. Right? Or, oh man, this must be really hard for you. Right? And offering yourself the same kind of comfort you might offer to another, or you might offer to a friend, or the friend might offer to you. And sometimes in our grief, we find that we're quite alone. And actually, what we need is to offer ourselves the warmth and kindness and compassion that might be available to us to give to others, but sometimes can feel strange just turning on ourselves in our own direction. So seeing if you can do that as much as possible with your own words, in the way that you're speaking to yourself aloud or in your head. Taking care of basic needs, making sure that you're getting some rest or enough rest, some food, enough food, that you're moving the body and getting some exercise or motion in the body, which is actually extremely healthy and can help to discharge lots of feelings, right? So just making sure that you have your basic needs taken care of to whatever degree that's possible. And seeing if you can figure out how to reach out and let people know how they can reach in to help you if basic needs or even peripheral needs are not being taken care of. right? People often like to say to people, oh, let me know if you need something, or I'd love to help out, but they don't necessarily know what to do. But it's okay for you to take the lead and say, you know what, it would be really helpful if you could just leave a meal on my porch. Or would you mind coming over to clean up the house a little bit, because I just can't get it together to do that right now. Or maybe you can take this child that I caregive and just spend a couple of hours with them and do something nice and enjoyable so that I can have a break, right? So figuring out ways that other people can help you. And the last thing that's just really, really important to remember is to offer yourself as much compassion as possible. Right? This comes back to what we were talking about a moment ago, but seeing where and how you can offer yourself kindness, to give yourself a break, to let yourself off the hook, to do something nice for yourself, or even just to recognize, hey, this is really hard, and I'm doing the best I can. And just sort of exuding a warm feeling towards yourself, right? Sometimes this takes a bit of effort or doesn't come so naturally, but with practice, it actually gets easier and easier, like most things. So seeing where you can offer yourself compassion, what makes you feel good, what gives you comfort, seeing if you can reach out for some of those things and reach in to your own resources as well.